What is going on, Jet fans? Matt O'Leary back with another video. In today's video, I want to talk about a few different things with New York Jets training camp. So this video is coming a little bit later than I would have liked to. All good, but just funny story. So was planning on going to lunch and then coming back and recording a video, but I got a call from my grandfather, got a flat tire, so I went out and helped him change his flat tire. So shout out Pop. He is one of my biggest fans, a big supporter. So love you, Pop. Probably watching. I appreciate you. But this is why the video is coming out a little bit later than usual, recapping today's day at Jets training camp. So here is the deal. It was a very strong day for the New York Jets defense after back-to-back really strong offense days. I thought the pressure that the defensive line got was very impressive. Jermaine Johnson, Will McDonald, Quentin Williams, and even a training camp star in the making, Takk McKinley. So if you're not familiar with who that is, well, he was a 2017 first-round pick by the Atlanta Falcons. He was brought in by the New York Jets to compete for a roster spot, but that competition is slowly coming to a close because I think he's doing pretty much everything he can to make this roster. The Jets' edge spot is something that they need to work on, I think, clearly, because they lost Bryce Huff and they also lost John Franklin Myers. And yes, Hassan Reddick is brought in, but there are opportunities to be had. And I think Takk has done a really, really good job through the first week of training camp here to make a name for himself and to do enough to stick. I think eventually we see him get first team reps, and I'm very excited to see him on the field when training, not in just training camp, but when preseason games are actually played as well. On the defensive side of things, though, a slight negative is that DJ Reed has struggled a little bit against Garrett Wilson. Now, DJ Reed, I still think, is a very, very good cornerback, and I'm glad that he is going with Sauce Gardner as Sauce's running mate. But Garrett's a really good wide receiver, and I have sound that we'll get into later on DJ Reed talking about going up against Garrett Wilson and the connection between Aaron Rodgers and Garrett Wilson. But it's been noticeable a little bit through the first three practices that DJ Reed hasn't really gotten the better of Garrett Wilson too much. It's been Garrett who's been a little bit more of a headache, which is, I think, more of a sign of how good Garrett is than it is a detractor against DJ Reed, but just something to note so far through a couple days. You also had Allen Lazard with another touchdown reception to end practice. This is like a daily routine now. Allen Lazard catching a touchdown pass. Are we going to get a weird resurgent year where Lazard has like 500 receiving yards and 6 touchdowns? What's happening here for the New York Jets? I think there's honestly a world early on in the year where we see, or maybe not so much earlier on in the year, but maybe we see Allen Lazard and Mike Williams on the outside with Garrett Wilson in the slot a little bit, or just more of the story with Allen Lazard's potential resurgence here adds another wrinkle to this Jets offense. I'm not, already saying I'm going to buy the Allen Lazard stock. He's all the way back, baby, but maybe there is something to this Allen Lazard situation for the New York Jets. And if they can get anything out of the guy after, unfortunately, what they went through last year, that's a major win. Tempers flared a little bit at practice today. A couple of things. First, Garrett Wilson and Aaron Rodgers had what I will call an intense discussion. Not anything that I am concerned about, by the way. I'm not saying like, oh, this is a big deal and major red flag, trouble in paradise between Aaron Rodgers and Garrett Wilson. No, that's not what I'm saying here. What I am saying is that we have some intensity from two guys who are extremely competitive, and Aaron Rodgers and Garrett Wilson have shown that they've had a very good connection so far, and these are two guys who just have a very high standard. They don't like when things aren't going according to plan. And we've seen Garrett Wilson get, I'll say, intense. I don't think he's been like, he's animated, but not in a negative crybaby way. Like, I don't know. There's different ways to go about it. Like sometimes you see a wide receiver, complaining about targets or just, not getting the ball enough or sitting there pouting. Like that's not what's happening here. It's just a different level of intensity. And, that Garrett and Aaron Rodgers desperately want to win and are trying to get on the same page. And again, they have a great relationship already. I'm not concerned in the slightest. We also saw our first training camp fight as well. After DJ Reed made a pass breakup, there was a little bit of a scrap. And again, that's something that's going to happen. It's hot, it's sweaty, it's intense. Training camp scraps happen. Every single team has them. It's not a big deal. When it happens a lot is those the joint practices. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. The joint practices with opposing teams. That's when it really gets cranked up. But again, I don't want to see anybody get hurt. Nobody wants to see anyone injured. It's just, again, something that's going to happen and something that, is commonplace in competition with these NFL guys. And again, not worried about it. When you're seriously hurt, your injury could be worth millions. Morgan & Morgan doesn't settle for lowball offers. They achieved significant verdicts in the past couple of months for victims involved in life-altering car crashes. It only takes a few short minutes to see if you have a case, and the fee is absolutely free unless you win. Over 3 million people like you call them every single year in their time of need, and they've recovered over $20 billion for their clients over the years. If you've ever gotten seriously injured, your case could be worth millions, and you're only a few clicks away from potentially changing your life. It's so easy. You can start your claim now with Morgan & Morgan at forthepeople.com/Matt, found in the description, or by scanning the QR code on your screen from your phone's camera. You can contact Morgan & Morgan today. Some quotes for you. Tyron Smith talked about being a leader for the offensive line.
Anything that we got going on as far as, drills with the O-line, and that's the time to, talk to your guys to try to tweak anything they got going on and helping them out. And I'm not a guy that, the rah-rah type dude and yell or try to hype anybody up. I'm also going to pull you to the side, show you how it's done, or help you tweak anything that you got going on if it needs to be done. So
him taking Olu under his wing, both him and Morgan Moses, by the way, got to throw him out there. Those two veteran tackles taking their young 21-year-old tackle Olu Fashanu under their wing and teaching him how to be a pro is perfect for him. And honestly, you got to throw Carter Warren and Max Mitchell in there too. Those are, a couple other guys who are depth pieces on this team, but who knows? Maybe, neither one of Tyron Smith or Morgan Moses are long-term answers, but maybe there's a little bit of a resurgence from those guys too. And, Tyron's going to play a really big factor when he's healthy and on the field. He's one of the best offensive linemen in football. Again, I'm really looking forward to watching him play this year and suit up. But Olu, when called upon, is going to have, big shoes to fill, and I think he could do it. Next up, we have DJ Reed talking about going up against Garrett Wilson in practice. And again, as I mentioned, his relationship with Rodgers.
Man, it's been battles, you know what I'm saying? Today, he ran a route on me. He ran a sluggo, and he got me. But, I'll just say, Eight and Garrett, they definitely on a different zone right now. With what we're being asked to do, they're making it hard. They know what we're in, so they're getting us the hard downs, which is ultimately going to prepare us for game one and for the season. But, with their chemistry, they're doing stuff, on the go. They're running a certain route. If you over-pursue, they're running another route. They're definitely in a different element. But it's ultimately going to make me better.
Reed talked about a route in particular where Garrett Wilson got the better of him. And look, that's going to happen sometimes. It's okay. These things happen. I'm not hitting the panic button on DJ Reed. Again, I think it kind of just goes back to just how good the connection between Rodgers and Garrett is. Also, DJ Reed commented on Quantez Stiggers and how impressive he's been.
Stiggers is nice. It's crazy. His journey, him not going to college and, the Jets being able to find him, I think he's a gem. He has the mindset. He came in hungry. He's very smart. He's eager to learn. As far as from an athletic standpoint, he has great makeup speed. He has great ball skills, stuff you can't really teach. It looks like he played basketball. He just goes up and catches the ball effortlessly. He's definitely a guy he's gonna be a baller.
This one's also a little ironic because this could potentially be the guy that replaces DJ Reed in a year from now, but I love seeing those DBs work together. I think if, God forbid something happens and if DJ Reed has to miss a couple games, he got banged up and missed a game this past year, Quantez, I would feel comfortable with coming in and playing right now. And I know that sounds crazy. It's a rookie, a day 3 guy. He has a lot of experience. He's played at a high level, even though he didn't play college ball. Really cool story, and I think there is something here with Quantez Stigger, so keep that name in the back of your mind as well. Those are the biggest storylines from camp today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Once again, I am Matt O'Leary. I'll catch you next time.